I'm Guy Lundy, and I'm a speaker and a consultant. I work with companies in South Africa that are interested in going into Africa and companies outside of Africa that are interested in investing on the continent. Essentially what I do is that I have access to a tremendous amount of information about South Africa and Africa, and I like to share that with an audience in an inspiring way. So by providing that information, I believe that it gives people the tools that they need to go out and make the most of the African growth story.
Of course, there are a couple of challenges, and one of the challenges is the size of the continent of Africa. This is a picture that came out of The Economist, and it shows what countries that we already consider sizable can fit into the continent of Africa. So here we've got China, the whole of China, Mexico, the whole of Western Europe, the whole of Eastern Europe, the whole of the United States, the whole of India, the Iberian Peninsula, and Japan can all fit into the continent of Africa. So it's a massive, massive place. It's not like you just climb on your horse and head north, you know. You've got to actually be quite serious about where you go first, how you do it.
I'm South African. I have grown up here, but I've lived in various countries around the world on 4 different continents. I am very passionate about South Africa and Africa, having seen what's out there in the rest of the world. And now dedicate myself to making sure that the growth story that's underway in Africa is going to continue and be sustained and be as much as it can possibly be.
Tanzania, around 7%. Kenya, also growing well, low inflation environment. They've just dropped their interest rates by 2%. So there's a number of countries that are worth looking at, that are relatively close, relatively similar, and relatively easy to do business in.
My background is in economics and futures studies. I've worked for various companies around the world, including a bank in Argentina. I worked for the London Stock Exchange. I've worked for several large corporates like Oracle and Ernst & Young in various parts of the world. But for the last 10 years, I've been an entrepreneur working in my own business as well as setting up other businesses. I've published 2 books about South Africa and its future, the first one being South Africa Reasons to Believe, and the second one being South Africa 2014, The Story of Our Future, both of which I co-produced with co-authors and co-editors. And essentially they look at what South Africa has going for it and what its future might hold. They take quite a positive view of South Africa and its future, and really provide information that arms people with the knowledge that they need in order to be positive about where we're going from here.
The Chinese don't have much interest in the Middle East. They don't look to the Middle East for their oil and their energy and that sort of thing. They focus very much on Africa. So they get around half of their oil requirements coming out of Africa: Angola, Nigeria, Sudan, etc.
If you're interested in following me, it's at Guy Lundy SA, and I try to keep to as much information as possible because I think there's a lot of useful stuff that people don't otherwise get access to. I've spoken to audiences all over the world in probably 17 or 18 different countries about South Africa, and about what the future might hold. So I've spoken to many thousands of people in different languages too. I'm French and English speaking, so I've spoken in both of those languages in various different countries.
Moi, parce que je parle français, c'est un peu plus facile que pour vous de travailler.
I'm experienced and ready to go out and do more wherever the world takes me to do it.